Good evening, folks. This is your weekly wake-up call, and we're not going to waste any time here. I'm going to turn this right on over to Dave.
I know this might come as a shock to some of you, but the Republicans have been gaslighting for decades. I don't know if anyone knows the official definition of gaslighting or what gaslighting is. Here's what gaslighting is. Someone does something abusive or something horrible to someone else and then convinces people, possibly the abused, that they're in the wrong, that the abuser didn't do anything wrong or didn't do it, and then shift all of the blame on the abused. That's what it is. It actually
saying they're overreacting or they're overly sensitive or whatever. That's a crock of shit. Okay.
Oh, it's actually them. They did it.
Right.
We did it to protect them, actually, or whatever.
Right.
It actually comes from a couple of old movies. I believe they're in the 40s called Gaslight.
Yeah.
Now, I placed a video in regards to different statements that people make to gaslight, and you hear it from the Republicans all the time. It's the Democrats. Oh, they're making a mountain out of a molehill, that kind of stuff.
It's Antifa. It's Black Lives Matter.
Right.
They're the ones that were, inciting the Capitol riot. We've heard it all. Okay.
But the gaslighting is getting more sophisticated and more, quote unquote, insidious. I saw a story earlier this week about a Florida substitute teacher that used an example of media bias. Now, they're talking about loaded language and that kind of thing. However, these are the examples that they use. Which one shows loaded language or media bias? Donald Trump claimed the election said the election was stolen, or Donald Trump falsely said the election was stolen. Which one is a possible example of gaslighting without facts to back it up? Teacher actually said that in the example. What is the example of media bias if they didn't have facts to back it up? And of course, it's the one that said falsely claimed. Problem is, how many more facts do you need? The January 6th Commission, all of these things are coming together, and it's showing that, number one, the election was not rigged. Number two, that all of these things are false, all of these claims are false, and that not only Donald Trump is still propagating this, that that a lot of the candidates are saying the same thing. Biden isn't the true president. So how do we combat this? Number one, you call them out. The story is by Raw Story. Florida parents outraged after a teacher tells kids that saying Trump lost the election is an example of media bias. Actually, it's that saying, Trump falsely claims the election is an example of media bias. They called it out immediately. The other example, or the other way to do it? There's an example from PBS. There's a whole lesson plan, a whole series about January 6th. And the very first statement was Trump falsely claimed the election was stolen, and why. You show the kids how to research it. You give them all of the data, okay? And there are so many websites and web pages that show this. Project on Government Oversight, I put that in here. Our website is another example. We have so much data, it's not even funny. We are not gaslighting you if we give you the data to back it up. Okay. If you're not aware, Joe Biden gave a speech recently, and there are a lot of people who are complaining that he's dividing, that he's being too political. He's not being too political. I'm going to pretty much show you that in the long show. I'm going to read the transcript from the New York Times that gave you the fact, gave you the data of exactly what he said. There's a story, again, I believe this is Salon, that they talk about Republicans gaslighting. It is by Heather Digby Barton. It's pretty good, actually, from September the 2nd. Biden's MAGA warning drowned out. Republicans' hissy fit works to distract the media. Their hissy fit is gaslighting, saying he's Satan, pointing out the red background in the background when he was in Philadelphia, blah, blah, blah. He looks demonic. He's a fascist, this, that, and the other thing.
He looks demonic.
Yeah.
Have you seen Trump when he gives a speech?
I know.
I mean, seriously, Joe Biden looks demonic. You're gonna be fucking kidding me.
Now,
that's a pack of shit, really.
I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing this in the long show a little bit, but we respect the Washington Post and we respect their opinion, but we do disagree on their opinion in regards to this. I believe that calls for bipartisanship or calls for unity, when you have a divisive force on the other side, is not the right message. It's just simply not. I put the opinion piece in here, and it's also in the long show, so it will be in the long show sources. But Washington Post's argument is that Joe Biden's speech was too divisive, and he needed to unite the nation. And that we know what it's at stake, and we know that Trump's doing the wrong thing, but he might have pissed some people off. Well, you know what? Maybe they deserve to be pissed off.
Who's he going to piss off? The MAGA Republicans. That's who he's going to piss off. What makes anybody think they ever want to unify with us? They're trying to literally wipe out swaths of people in this country. They're pretending gay people don't exist. They're criminalizing transgender people. They're shitting all over Jewish people, saying that they're controlling the banks and they're starting fires with Jewish space lasers. Give me a fucking break, okay? Give me a fucking break. I am not unifying with fascists, period. You don't unify with fascism, period. End of story. That's the whole reason they're a danger to democracy.
Right. And to end this, because I don't know how long I've gone, but we have to continue to move on. We're actually gaining ground. This is the message. Whether it's too harsh or not, this is the message. This is what is going to get people to get off their couches, vote, and get a little more involved. When it directly affects them, whether they're gay, whether they're female and they want their reproductive rights, whether they're in the labor force, people are being directly affected. It is getting worse and worse. And now people are finally starting to pay attention. And you're going to tell the leader of the free world to back off? I don't think he went far enough. He called the MAGA Republicans.
I wish they'd taken their gloves off a long time ago. Okay, yeah. I do.
He called the MAGA Republicans semi-fascists. No, they're not. They're fascists.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's stop pussyfooting around this stuff and just get to work and continue to do what we have to do.
Right.
This is not going to be an easy fight. We're going to continue. And one of the first things that is a bright spot in this is I see people starting to identify the Republican and right-wing gaslighting, calling it out and calling bullshit on it and acting on it. So thanks for listening. We'll put the sources in here. We put the sources in here for a reason, because we're trying to prove to you that we're not gaslighting. We're showing you facts. Okay. So See you guys on the long show.